Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and these are my favorite adventure and dual sport gloves. There are a couple options to choose from. We could do more of a touring style glove with a full gauntlet ready for all kinds of weather, or we could do more of a motocross style, perfect for summer use and really heavy off-roading. Now what I did is I went ahead and I picked the best option in each category. Of course they both happen to be super expensive, so then I went ahead and I chose a budget alternative to each. First up is the Klim Element Long Glove. I took one look at the materials list on this guy, and I knew it was gonna be a winner. We have a Gore-Tex membrane, which means I get the 100% waterproof and breathable guarantee. The knuckle armor is titanium, which has the highest strength-to-weight ratio of any metal known to mankind. The softer armor is no slouch either. It's Poron XRD, which has an insane impact absorption and breathability. On my palm, there's ceramic and aramid reinforced leather in case I go for a slide, and silicone printing for grip on my grips. To close this off, there's a smattering of 3M Scotch-Brite all over to make sure my hands are visible at night, and a goggle squeegee on the index finger. It's not just the materials that make this glove special, it's also how they're used. And see, I get Poron baked into this separate knuckle plate here, so that gives the titanium a little bit of play, and it helps my hand to feel movable and breathable as well. I get Poron again on 3 of the fingers, on the outside of the pinky in that low side danger zone, and then over the pointy bits of my wrist as well. My palm is 9 inches around, which puts me in this size large, and it fits really well. Now the gauntlet's gonna open and close with the main Velcro tab, and then a secondary Velcro noose that's gonna go around the wrist. And it's a really thin gauntlet, by the way. I could probably get my jacket over this if I wanted to. Loads of stretch fabric in here as well, so it's a very comfortable glove to move, and because the seams are external, I get a very good contact feel on the controls of my bike. This is an amazing glove, and the $275 price tag actually seems fair considering how many premium materials I get. But that still doesn't mean I can afford it. The poor man's alternative to the Klim Element is gonna be the Icon Patrol at just $100. Now we slashed almost $200 off the price tag here, so let's see what else we've lost. The membrane in here is Hypora, which is supposed to be waterproof and breathable. In my experience, it's pretty good at staying dry, but Hypora doesn't breathe nearly as well as Gore-Tex. The armoring on the knuckles is rigid rubber instead of titanium, so obviously that's not as hard. What no one wants to tell you though is that rubbers and plastics are often more protective in a crash than fancy titaniums and carbon fibers, so I actually have no problem with the knuckle armor here. The TPU across the fingers though, that's definitely inferior to Poron. Flipping the glove over, we have no armoring whatsoever on the wrist bone, on that low side danger zone, or on the palm, so that's kind of sad. But the material itself is actually good. See, the rest of this glove is textile, but Icon gave us goatskin leather on the palm. Goatskin is more durable than cowhide, so this actually has very good abrasion resistance. On the index finger, there's a lens squeegee, and then there's plenty of reflective material across the top, so we're pretty much equal with the Klim there. My 3 3/4 inch palm puts me in this size large, and it fits a little bit snug. I'd say people with meatier hands should probably size up. Now the gauntlet's gonna close with the main Velcro tab, and then there's gonna be a noose around the wrist, just like we saw on the Klim Element. Now I'd say that the Icon Patrol is just as movable and comfortable as the Klim was, but the contact sensitivity is not quite as good. Maybe it's the insulation, maybe it's the internal seams, but either way, I have a harder time feeling my bike's controls through here. Overall, I'd say the Patrol sacrifices 2 big things. It's much stuffier and hotter than the Klim, and it's down on protection. But the Patrol is still an amazing glove, and it's an amazing value at $100. Now, we can go to more of a motocross style with the Klim Adventure Glove. Now when I'm off-roading, I really like to have something like this. There's better movement, there's more airflow, and it's much lighter than a typical gauntlet glove. We have lots of Poron XRD here across 4 knuckles, 3 of the fingers, and then at that common impact area at the palm. Now Poron feels a lot like memory foam. It's super comfortable, has a great impact absorption, and it's actually breathable to boot. The chassis is full leather, and it's actually quite thick. I wouldn't really worry about going for a slide in these guys, and they hold up well over time. And these are my own pair. I got them about 12,000 kilometers ago, and they haven't degraded too much. Klim says the leather is water resistant, but with the shorty glove and all the perforations that we have on the wrist and between the fingers, it honestly doesn't matter. When it starts to rain, I have about 5 minutes before this soaks through. My palm is 9 inches around, which would put me in this size large, and it fits great. And I'd say that the Klim Adventure is the most comfortable glove on my list. I can probably thank all the stretch fabric and the softer armoring for that. Now, there's a smidge of 3M Scotch-Brite just in front of the knuckle, and the Klim logo near the wrist is going to be high-vis as well, so that's really nice to have. The contact feel on all the controls of my bike is really good, as it typically is with a summer glove. And I'd wear these guys in hot weather, right the way down to about 15 degrees. And finally, the budget alternative to the Klim Adventure. And this is the Fox Racing Bomber Glove, and it's not just in the motocross style, this is actually a motocross glove. The Bomber is really bomb-proof. Hard plating across the knuckles, hard shields on 4 fingers, TPU armoring on the fingertips, and then impact padding on the low side zone. That brings us to the Palm. Now if I were dual sporting, I'd be okay with this. This is doubled up Clarino, is strong enough for hauling a tree off the trail, or maybe even if I biff it on a gravel road. But if I was an ADV rider and I saw a lot of paved kilometers, I'd go with the Fox Bomber S version instead, which has a doubled up leather palm. Fox Racing did their due diligence everywhere else. And we have lots of neoprene, we have stretchy fabric, perforated leather on the back of the hand, breathable textile in between the fingers, and then the two fingers that you're going to be levering with have sticky silicone at the tip. I'd say the Fox Bomber isn't quite as comfortable as the Klim Adventure, but I think it looks cooler, it breathes better, and if you get the S version, it's actually more protective. And my hand is 7 7/8 of an inch long, puts me in the size large, and it fits perfect. Right now, I can get the regular Bomber for $60 and the Bomber S version for $80, so both of them are quite a bit less expensive than the Klim Adventure. Now last season I did go ahead and get the Klim Adventure, but if I were to do it again, I'd go with the Bomber. And that's it for my favorite adventure and dual sport gloves. Thank you guys very much for watching.